What is going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel. So today, this is going to be the very first podcast ever for King Custom. So this is super cool. YouTube released this podcast feature that we can use. So I decided to incorporate it into my channel. Now, this is the very first time I'm ever doing a podcast. I've never done one in my life. People have always told me that I should do one, and I'm just going to go with it. So I have been going through a lot of my comments on YouTube here because I actually didn't realize that people have been. I thought I responded to all of them. Apparently, there are hundreds of comments that I have not responded to, and I'm sorry. So if you are watching this podcast, just know that I do not intentionally ignore anyone. I actually try to answer every single comment I can. Now that I found out that there's a way that I can filter my comments to see who I haven't answered or who I have answered, you're probably going to get some responses. There are some responses there are some comments that I've answered that are like 2 years ago. So, don't think that I'm just weird. YouTube never showed me the notification, but whatever. I'm going to answer it now. So it's going to take me some time to get through to them. And then a lot of people have been responding back to those that I've been answering. So anyway, one of the questions here that I have gotten on the comments is, hey, Ryan, do you think that I should become a mechanic or open up a mobile mechanics business now in 2023? Things are kind of iffy. Is this something that you think I should do? Please recommend. And I'm going to talk, first of all, I'm not in control of anyone's life here, so I'm just going to give you my honest opinion. He was asking for it. That's what you're going to get. Before, I always used to talk about being in the mechanic field. It's something that I did enjoy, but when it came to working for other people, I did not have that joy in it anymore. A lot of companies that you work for, a lot of people that you work for, they treat you like crap. And it is so true. It's probably not just in the auto field. I'm sure it's in every other field out there. But I'm going to speak from the auto field more because that's where I've had most of my experience from. Now, I have had other jobs in the past, like I've worked at a physical therapy clinic, I've worked in a bank, I've worked at a gym, I've worked at multiple different dealerships, I've worked all over the place, so I have gathered experience all over. But speaking directly on the automotive side of things, I think, yes, you should open up your business. Let me tell you why. Since COVID started, a lot of people have been slammed with work. These shops, these businesses have been slammed. You can't even make it on their list to get repaired. It's just, there's so much. So there's a lack of shops out there that are able to take in all this work. So by you opening one, if you feel comfortable enough to do this, if you feel like you have the skills to do it, go right ahead, set yourself up with the LLC, set yourself up with your insurance, get the equipment that you need. If it's a mobile mechanic thing, set yourself up with your LLC, your insurance, get the equipment that you need. It's the same thing, and start working with customers. Just advertise yourself. It's actually not that hard, especially nowadays in 2023 when everything is via internet. You can advertise yourself through Google. Facebook is definitely one of the biggest things. Instagram for the younger generations and younger audiences. And then word of mouth, as well as have people do reviews for you on your Google reviews. Those things help. And another thing too, like, where I've noticed a lot of people aren't open on Sundays in many different places. Saturdays and Sundays, to me, if you're willing to sacrifice those days, I'm telling you, you are going to kill it in the game. Like Sundays, no one wants to do because everyone wants it to be family time. That's great and all. But if you want your business to succeed, you have to remember this business is like another baby. So on the Sundays, so many people are off from work. So many people are like, man, I wish I can get my car repaired. I wish I can go do this, but everywhere is closed. Certain things are closed, and then they have to wait during a work week. Now, if you can help people on those days that they're off, they will flood your place. You don't have to keep your place open on a Sunday all day, and all night. But what you can do is on a Sunday, maybe take customers by appointments. So when they make an appointment, at least you know, hey, I got to be there at 1 p.m. That's the only customer that came in to make an appointment. It's a win-win. You're going to get the customer. The customer is going to feel like, okay, they are able to make this appointment at X time, and you're going to be able to, please that customer at X time. You wouldn't have to sit with your shop open up all day waiting for someone to walk in. Even though sometimes walk-ins are very good as well. But that is completely up to you and how you would want to run it. Now, me personally, when it comes to opening the business and stuff, yes, I think it's 100%. I think it's good. Not everyone in the world is meant to run a business. Not everyone in the world is meant to open a business. Some people love working for others, and there's nothing wrong with that. If that's what you like to do, go right ahead. I have nothing against people who can do that. Let me give you a story about myself growing up. Now, when I was younger, I had a problem working for people, and it's not that I'm lazy. I'm not a lazy type of guy. I'm a very hard worker. Anytime I was put into a job, I would work my butt off, and I would make sure that everything is taken care of as it should. But over time, I don't know if it's my personality, because I feel like I have a leadership type of personality. It's hard for me to take direction under people. Now, that's not to say that if you give me a direction like, hey, Ryan, I need you to go fix this truck, or I need you to go fix this car, or I need you to go move this here, I need you to go pick up that person. That's not a problem. I will do it. The problem that happens with me is that I can see things that are wrong. And when I see things that are wrong, I initially want to fix it. And sometimes I see things that managers do that are wrong. I see things that CEOs do that are wrong. And I'm just like, man, I can do better. I know I can fix the spots that are messed up. And sometimes maybe I butt heads with people a little bit because of that. But I've learned to keep my mouth, shut and not say anything. Now, the problems that come about jobs and me quitting is because the lack of respect from the manager, or the lack of the respect from the person running the shop. If there's a lack of respect there, I'm out. That's the instant thing with me. I am 100% out. Now, I always make sure I respect everyone else. I just ask for the same respect back in return. Now, once someone decides to take that respect away, that's it. I'm done. I'm moving on. Example, I worked at this company. I'm not going to name the company's name. I'm sure the person who I worked with, who was my manager, he watches my videos, so I'm 100% sure he's going to see this, my ex-manager. And him and I were really cool in the beginning. It was just him and I. It was a diesel company that I worked for, so I would fix their trucks. And we were good. We got along really well in the beginning. We had no issues. Things were really good. I was always happy showing up to work. I would do anything that he would ask, because I felt good. I felt comfortable. I would take care of the parts. I would take care of picking up parts. I would repair the trucks as best I could. Now, I only started working on trucks in Florida. I didn't know much about them. I learned as I went. They weren't really that hard to fix. But sometimes this manager would make me feel like I didn't know anything. He would make me feel less than of myself sometimes. And I would, talk to him and tell him, man, I'm sorry, like, I don't really know that much on trucks. Like, I'm still learning and whatever. And then he would realize where I'm coming from, and he would say, I get you, I'll help you out and whatever. And it was just me and him. So he relied on me heavily, and, we worked together. But then, it got to a point where he would just focus on the paperwork and stuff, and I would do all the work, which is fine. I mean, that's what I was hired for. And he would make me do some of the paperwork as well, so he could take off his plate, which is also fine. I'm learning, I'm doing different things and whatnot. So he told me how, there is going to be another shop opening up somewhere else in Florida, Jacksonville, Florida, and how he would give me that position. Not the one of Jacksonville, because he was from Jacksonville. So he would go to the Jacksonville position as the manager there and give me the position in Central Florida, where I'm at, to run the shop, And he was just buttering me up, making me feel good, and whatnot. So we ended up buying another company in Central Florida and merged the people there. And these two new guys came along. So we had these guys who came on, and I had to help them. I had to do their paperwork and stuff, and I didn't mind doing that. They weren't on our books, so in order for these trucks to get charged out, in order for the shop to get paid, I would have to put their work under my name. It was two guys plus me, and doing those paperworks actually took a lot of time. They were not easy to do. It took some time, so I would have to, in that 8 hour day, I would have to cover my 8 hours, but then I would have to cover their 8 hours as well. So by the time I put in their work for me, I'm already doing like 30 something hours in one day. And we got paid by the hour. It's just you would have to cover your 8 hours time. So I would put in all of their work, but we didn't want it to look fishy in the back office as well, because they're gonna ask, how is it that I'm working on these many trucks at one time? So it was just weird. I had to figure out ways to do it. So anyway, the newer guys, one of them was really cool with me. The other one was a little fishy with me, and he thought that I was stealing his work, putting it under my name for no reason, just to get the credit. And I told him that's not the truth. Long story short, I ended up talking to my manager about how this employee, this newcomer, was coming at me, feeling like I was taking his work and stuff. And I understood where he was coming from. I mean, it would look shady on my end too, but I talked to my manager. I told him, hey man, can you squash this over with him? Can you talk to him? Let him know that this is something that you're telling me to do. I don't want any bad blood with anyone. And my manager was like, it's all right. September 1st will be around the corner, so they will see for themselves. Just leave it alone. It'll squash out itself. I said, okay, no problem. Well, anyway, one day a trucker came. I was working outside on his truck from about 6:30 in the morning till about 2 p.m. Or 1:30 p.m. And I haven't taken a lunch yet. I was tired. I wanted to take a lunch. Went into the lunchroom. Decided to work on my paperwork while I was on my lunch, which I did get a non-paid lunch, so I was working for free basically. And my manager came and asked me, hey, did you happen to pull out those batteries that I just asked you to pull out? So after I went on my lunch, he had asked me to pull out the batteries real quick. I told him, yeah, no problem. I'm going to wait for these guys to finish their truck. They're going to be done in 10 minutes. When they pull out, I will back up the truck into the shade and work on it. Now, in the summer months in Florida, the heat is extreme and that sun is brutal. I want a little bit of shade, especially being outside in the sun for so many hours in that day. And prior to that, we did have a safety meeting on knowing your body, knowing the heat stroke symptoms and stuff like that. So I wasn't feeling well. I went into the lunchroom, had my lunch, was doing my work. He came back from doing whatever he was doing and asked me, did I pull out those batteries? And I told him, I haven't gotten a chance to it yet. I'm on my lunch, I'm doing my work, and it's really hot outside. I'm waiting for those guys to move out the bay. They're almost done in like 5 minutes. I'm going to pull the truck in the shade and just work on it. He got really upset, slammed the door in front of a couple other coworkers. And he looked at me and told me that this might not be the right profession for me and I should look for something else. And I was just in shock with what he said. I didn't give him a response. That entire day, he did not talk to me. I went home. About 10 p.m. at night, he started blowing up my phone, trying to get me to work, because that was a Friday night. So he was trying to blow up my phone, trying to get me to work on Saturday. Now, Saturday and Sundays are my off days. And at 10 p.m., he wanted me to go to the sister shop that we had so I can go work on a truck for the morning. And I told him I was busy. I have things to do. You didn't ask me this before. You're calling me at 10 p.m. at night. I'm not going to answer my work phone at 10 p.m. at night. That's where my work hours end. That's it. My work hours end at 5 p.m. He kept persisting blowing up my phone, and then he texted me and told me, because I told him I couldn't do it in a text message. Sorry, I missed your call. Couldn't do it. He told me how starting on Monday my new work hours will be, because my work hours originally are 7 to 3, but he told me my new work hours will be 5 to 6 p.m., 5 a.m. to 6 p.m. And I just told him, okay, no problem. Is this effective Monday or when? And when I asked him that question, he texted me back and said that I'm one of his most valuable employees. that I am his greatest asset in the company and all of this. So I responded, it's funny that you say that, because earlier that day when you disrespected me in front of the employee, you told me that I should look for something else. This is not my field that I should be in. I shouldn't be a mechanic. Well, I don't know what made me say that, but he got so upset and he started going off. Just bringing up conversations of the past between us, twisting some of my words, making it seem like I'm the bad guy. Meanwhile, he's always talked good about me to his bosses, and then now it's making it look like I'm the bad guy. And he accidentally screenshotted our messages and took out mine but left his, like, to make him look good in a type of way, and sent it to his boss. But he didn't realize he sent it to the text message between his boss and my boss. So he sent it to the text message between me and his boss. And when I saw that, I commented under that one, and I was like, oh, well, seeing as how you want to involve your boss into this, I screenshotted everything from the beginning to the end, and I sent it to his boss. Well, I didn't go to work on Monday, but Monday his boss called. His boss wanted to know what was going on. They didn't want to lose me. He called the manager. He talked to him. I told him, look, I need some time to think about this because it's very awkward and I don't want any animosity between us. He told me that there may be some animosity in the beginning, but eventually it'll get squashed out. He never told me that, that wouldn't be tolerated in the workforce. He just told me eventually it'll just kind of die out and stuff. So I said, all right, well, give me some time to think about it. So they told me, well, if I don't come back to work by Wednesday, I have to be terminated. So I said, okay, no problem. I didn't show up on Tuesday. Manager texted me and said he would hope to have seen me on Tuesday, that we could have worked things out. Wednesday came along, and I texted them and told them that I am on my way to pick up my stuff. I am not going to work for someone who makes me feel uncomfortable at the moment now, and it's just going to be a toxic work environment. That is something that I am not going to do. Now, this happened a while ago, and I kept the story into me because I don't like to put a lot of my personal business out there. This is just one of those things where I can't work for people because problems like this. Now, when I had my own shop in Jersey, and I used to teach people, I was very patient with people. I never used to rile them up. I never used to, make them feel less than themselves. I never used to make them feel like I'm above anyone. And I've noticed with a lot of people who are training under mechanics who are seasoned, those seasoned mechanics like to put them through the fire, like to, talk to them any way they want, like to be really rough and aggressive with them. And in this way, they can just tell if they're going to want to be a mechanic or not. And I think that is a terrible approach. Between you and me, I think that is the worst approach possible. Because in my eyes, who in the world would want to work for someone like that? Why would anyone want to be in this field when you're going to get dogged on? That's not what you want to do. If you want someone to love this field, you want someone to have a passion for this, you have to have a passion you have to have a passion yourself. You have to be patient to teach someone something. If someone came along with me and I opened up my own shop and someone came along to learn with me and I knew that they knew nothing about cars, they knew nothing about trucks, and whatever knowledge I knew, I went to show them, I would not give them a hard time. I would not yell at them. I would not break their balls. I wouldn't do things like that to them. That messes with someone psychologically. And it makes people not want to do this. It makes them not like it. It makes them just want to get turned off from the field. Why do that to someone? I've always said, when you're going to teach someone something, you wholeheartedly try to teach them. You be patient with them. You take them under your wing, and you show them what you can show them. Even if they ask you 1,000,000 times how to do something, you show them 1,000,000 times. Because some people, their brains just don't comprehend it 1,000 times, but 1,001 times, it'll finally click. Sometimes it takes people a while to learn things. And that's the problem with the older generation versus the newer generation. The older generation, when they try to teach someone something, they get really upset. They think that they have to put them through the ringer. They have to they just have to just squeeze everything out of them to see if they really want to be a mechanic or they really want to do this in life. And that is not how you teach someone. That is not how you train someone. That is a super old school way that needs to be done with. Seriously. If I open up a shop out here in Florida and someone comes to me to learn, I am going to be very patient with them, and I'm going to teach them, and I'm going to take my time to teach them. Okay, because when you teach someone something, you're sharing that knowledge, but you're also doing it with love. And when you do something with love, that person's going to appreciate that, acknowledge that. They're going to want to work harder for you. They're going to want to help you with more things. They're going to want to learn more, because now you're teaching them into a fun way. If I was to have a little kid by my side, an 18-year-old kid, and be like, hey, go take that wheel off, go do that, go do this brake job right now. You're not done yet? Why aren't you done yet? Well, you're taking so long. It's a really 2-hour job. I can do that in 10 minutes. You're taking 50 hours with that. Wrong approach. First of all, this kid doesn't know anything. He doesn't know much. You take your time. Hey, this job takes 2 hours. Okay? Take your time. Get it done right. Learn it. Eventually, you'll build up to getting it done in 2 hours. Eventually, you'll build up to getting it done in 30 minutes. But I want you to make sure that you're doing this the right way. And that's how things work. That's how people learn. That's how people grow. You have to be a people person. And a lot of people who are training are not people person. A lot of people who are managers in companies are not meant to be in those positions. I don't know if it's a quality that some of these companies look for. Let's look for the worst people in the world and put them as managers because they will get things going. No. That's why employee retention rates are so low. That's why companies are having a hard time finding people, because people have found newer ways to do things and make money an easier way. Look, for me, for example, I do my social media, but I also do mechanical stuff. On the side, I do what I can do. I worked at companies. But the moment this social media thing takes off for me, honestly, I wrap my hands up. That's it. I'm done. I'll try to show what I can. I'll try to teach what I know. I'll probably open up a shop for fun. Help people out here and there. But once things take off for me, that's it. It's a wrap, man. Because again, like off topic, a lot of these trades, people are saying that no one in the newer generation wants to do these trades. You know why? Because no one wants to be dogged. The newer generation has seen that there are easier ways to make money. You can make 30 grand in a month doing a TikTok video that goes viral. You know how long it'll take you to make 30 grand for working at someone in a trade? It'll take a while. You'll probably make that quick if you work for yourself. But I understand both generations. I understand the older ones and I understand the younger ones. I'm more in the middle. I think there are smarter ways to make money. I think that people need to have more patience with a lot of these people, a lot of these newer kids coming in, and teach them how to love it. That's the problem that's going on in the world today. No one loves it anymore. So anyway, to end this up, yes, I definitely think you should open up your own shop. I think it's an awesome idea. Show the world what you can do. Do it with love. Do it with passion. And you'll go far, my friend. So I hope you guys enjoyed this very first podcast at King Customs. And guys, it's only going to get better from here. It's only going to go up. So with that being said, I'll see y'all for the next one. Peace.